after studying this module, you would come to know about the concept of physical distribution or place. You would learn or know about the various functions of physical distribution. You would know about the concept and importance of logistics and understand the concept of supply chain management. Physical distribution decision. Physical distribution is a group of tasks connected with the supply of the finished product from one place, the place where it has been produced, to the ultimate consumer. The physical distribution takes into account various sales distribution channels such as the wholesaler, the retailer, and engulfs significant decision areas which include providing services to customers, maintaining adequate inventory, procuring materials, packaging, managing order processing, and transportation as well as logistics. Physical distribution includes movement of goods from their origin, the place of manufacture, to the final destination, which is the place of consumption. So, the physical distribution activities consist of order processing, warehousing, material handling, transportation, and inventory control. The marketeer depends excessively on physical distribution for physically acquiring products where they need to be and where they need to they are manufactured, and sending them to the place where they need to be consumed, and all of this has to be done at the lowest possible cost. Charles Staff has defined physical distribution as the management of movement, inventory control, protection and storage of raw materials, and the processed or finished goods from the production line. The National Council of Physical Distribution Management has given another definition, and so on. Their definition is inclusive in nature and explains not only the concept of physical distribution but also covers various functions in it. In a nutshell, it can be said that the physical distribution focuses on 7 R's: the right product, the right quantity, in the right condition, in the right time, the right place, for the right customer, and the right cost. Physical distribution is sometimes used synonymously with logistics and even confused with supply chain management. Though similar, there are certain differences between logistics, which involves receiving and processing orders and releasing goods from inventory and transporting finished goods to the ultimate consumers while trying to achieve the maximum customer satisfaction within the distribution channel. Supply chain management is a part of logistics and is concerned with the supply of raw materials as well as finished products. What are the functions of physical distribution? Physical distribution is essentially a determinant of the customer service level, as in an inefficient physical distribution lead to losses for the firm, and the firm may lose out on customers and markets. There are some products which are seasonal in nature. In such cases, either the production is continuous but the demand is seasonal, or the demand is continuous but the production is seasonal. In such cases, physical distribution acquires additional importance. The following are the functions of physical distribution: planning the total physical distribution system, in-plant warehousing, transportation, field warehousing, receiving, handling, and secondary transportation. A system set is a set of components or activities that interact with each other. A car engine, for example, is a system, and if any part malfunctions, the performance of the whole car suffers. In a distribution system, 6 interrelated activities affect customer service and the cost of providing it. First of all, we have customer service. Customer service function is a strategically crafted standard for customer satisfaction, which has the business intent to furnish the customer with whatever is required. An example of customer satisfaction approach for ready-made garments business may be that 75% of the customer garments are delivered to the customer within 3 working days of ordering. An additional approach might be that 95% of the customer garments must be delivered to the customer within 4 working days. After the establishment of the customer service, the physical distribution is then crafted out to attain the set goals. This consists of the customer service, order processing, inventory control, warehousing, transportation, and material handling. So, the order processing and communication is a function created to take the customer's orders and its execution as per the customer's specification. The business is concerned with the function as it directly relates to the service to be provided to the customer and thus attaining the customer service goals. The efficiency of the order processing system can save the business from incurring heavy costs in other functions such as transportation or inventory control. Order processing represents a time element in delivery, which is an essential ingredient of customer service. For this, many intermediaries focus on the movement of goods and also on good communication, which is critical for development of a stable distribution system. Inventory management. Inventory levels also affect the customer satisfaction. So, inventory management deals with the stabilization of the cost of maintaining additional products on hand against the risk of not stocking those items which the consumers demand. This is known as stock out. This task has become more complex as firms have gradually lowered their inventory levels. The difficult task in this situation is to organize the required level of supply while maintaining a low level of inventory. However, the fact remains that the inventory management is still critical for serving customers in many markets. In order to handle such a situation, the companies have started following the just-in-time logistics system. With the help of this system, now new stocks arrive at the factory or the retail outlet exactly when needed rather than being stored in an inventory from the beginning. Warehousing, which is the distribution centers, the storage and warehousing activities account for 20% of the firm's total physical distribution cost. There exist differences between storage and warehousing. Storage implies simply holding and preserving the products for a short period of time. In contrast, warehousing implies addition of functions such as accumulating, allocating, assorting, and readying the goods for reshipping to other locations. The chief intent is to carry out all these functions within a given period of time. Uh, so, the warehousing, of course, could be private or public. Private warehouses are owned and leased by producers or middlemen, whereas public warehousing are owned and operated by independent bodies in the public space. Transportation is the means to carry goods from one place to the other. It creates uh, place utility of goods. Transportation in marketing becomes vital as the goods are not used exactly where they are produced and need to be transferred uh, to a very distant destination. The major transportation modes are through the railroads, motor carriers, airlines, pipelines, and water carriers, and so on. Transportation costs usually account for one third of the total physical distribution cost. The selection criteria to compare transportation modes is based on speed of delivery, relative cost, reliability, range of transporting capabilities, ability to reach the geographical destination. Roadways are the oldest system, and there are different categories of road transport to deliver products to remote areas, and certainly in this case where remote areas have to be approached, the road transport system is a much preferred method. Railways are regarded as uh, the relatively cheaper means of transportation. It covers long distances and carries bulk goods, and so railways have their own advantage. Waterways, this is the cheapest mode of transportation. It is used for transporting bulk commodities and low grade goods, and this was one of the most popular methods of transportation in the older times. Of course, there is a lot of scope for developing waterways in the Indian context. It has its own advantages. Airways could transport both passenger mail and goods, and it is helpful in times of emergencies like flood, earthquakes, and so on. And it is also useful for handling of fragile material and so on. And the best advantage is that the time taken is very little. Of course, it cannot be used for bulk commodities or raw materials. It is of course a lifeline for such countries which are landlocked or are island countries. There, of course, in island countries we could also have uh, shipping, but in the case of landlocked countries, the airlines is a very good alternative. The pipelines are used for conveying gas and liquid petroleum, crude, and so on. This is a very specialized mode of transportation. Distribution inventory. Distribution inventory includes all finished goods inventory at any point in the distribution system. In terms of cost, it is the second most significant item in distribution, accounting for about 25 to 30% of the total cost of distribution. Inventories create time value by placing the product close to the customer. The distribution center stores inventory which are large, and sometimes they are also automated. Uh, Material handling. Material handling is the movement and storage of goods inside the distribution center. The type of materials handling equipment used affect the efficiency and cost of operations in distribution. Proper material handling helps in decreasing the damage, maintaining the quality, facilitating order processing and moving the right goods at the right time and making them available to the right customer. Material handling exhibits the trade-off between capital cost and operating cost to the company. Protective packaging. The basic task of packaging in any industrial organization is that the goods are securely transported to the customer. Therefore, goods moving in a distribution system must be contained, protected, identified, and must be risk free. They should not be facing any risk of damage. Now let us consider logistics. Logistics implies managing the flow of resources from the point of inception to the point of destination in order to fulfill certain requirements of the customers or the companies. The resources organized in logistics could include physical items such as food, materials, equipment, liquids, as well as abstract items such as information, particles, even energy. The logistics of physical items usually include the amalgamation of information flows, handling of material, production, packaging, inventory, transportation, warehousing, and often even security. The importance of logistics is that it is significant for a business firm as it crafts the value for the customer, suppliers of the firm, and value for the firm's stakeholders. In logistics, the value is defined in terms of time and place. Products and services have little or no value unless they are provided to the customers on the right time at the right place who wish to consume or use the products. Around the globe, logistics have become immensely significant, a value-adding process for a number of reasons. The types of logistics could be categorized as business logistics, military logistics, event logistics, and service logistics. The objectives of logistic management are customer service, industry awareness, constant improvement, and the reduced cost of operations. Now, supply chain management. Supply chain consists of various stages which take part in the conversion of raw material into final product and its delivery to the end customer. It not only encompasses the suppliers and the manufacturers but also the distributors, transporters, retailers, and customers. In every organization, it includes several important functions: order management, planning, shop floor operations, etc. A supply chain comprises of numerous stages which are undertaken during the conversion of raw material into final product and also its delivery to the end consumer. Supply chain is an approach to regulate the flow of materials, information, and finances. The supply chain begins with the need of customers with its next destination as the retail outlet. Retail outlets stock up the items, supply the items to the distributors, supplied to them by the distributors in the form of inventory, and they store them in the shelves of the store. The distributors get supply from the warehouses. The manufacturers procure raw materials, semi-processed goods, and various operations from different suppliers. Different processes and operations are performed at each stage. These stages interact in the form of inflow and outflow of material. The supply chain management includes planning, management of number of activities, and in essence, supply chain management amalgamates demand and supply management within the firm and across the firms. Now let us summarize what we have studied. physical distribution is sometimes used synonymously with logistics and even confused with supply chain management. Though seemingly similar, but the theoretical basis is different. The business firms seek the help of an efficient distribution system in order to ensure that their customers are can avail of good service level. The specified task for business logistics is to get the right goods or services to the right place at the right time and in the desired condition while making the greatest contribution to the firm. A supply chain consists of various stages which take part in conversion of raw material into the final product and its delivery to the end consumers. It includes suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, transporters, retailers and the ultimate customers. So, we have seen how physical distribution is a very important decision and it consists of logistics management, supply chain management and various stages are involved in the physical distribution. There are different modes of transport that we have considered: roadways, railways, waterways, airways, pipelines and so on. Each one of these has its own advantage and disadvantage.